Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the online video lecture on introduction model with respect to the operational research. In the introduction part only, that we are going to discuss LPP, how we are going to formulate the given LPP problem. That we have discussed three problems in the previous video lecture, and in this video also we are going to discuss some again how we are going to formulate the LPP problem. Here the next problem is a person has rupees 2500 on hands. He wants to buy hens and sells the eggs. They has to make a profit. Okay, again this problem comes under profit category, so that the objective function is maximization. He finds out that old hens can be bought at rupees 100 each and young hens can be bought at rupees 200 each. The old hens lays 3 eggs per week and young ones lays 5 eggs per week, each egg being worth rupees 10. It costs rupees 10 per week to feed old hen, while for a young one it is rupees 18. Assuming that the person cannot house more than 20 hens, how many old hens and how many young ones he should buy to maximize profit? Now we need to define the decisions variables. Let x1 be the number of old hens to be bought and x2 is the number of young hens to be bought. Now we need to form the objective function because of it is coming under maximization equation. Here we need to find out, he has given the profit, okay, and as well as expenditure. He has given the income as well as expenditure. By using the formula profit equals to income minus expenditure, we need to find out the income here. We need to find out the profit here. Now by using the formula here, income profit equals to income minus expenditure. When it comes to income, okay, he has given that is only income. The old hens lays 3 eggs per week and young ones 5 eggs per week, each being worth rupees 10. Okay, so that we can write here 3x1 plus 5x1 into 10, that will give 30x1 plus 50x2, number of eggs hatched by the x1, that is old hens, and 5x2 number of eggs hatched by x2 young hens. Then 10 means that is income per egg. Okay, that income per egg, it is by young ones and old hens. Now when it comes to expenditure, that is 10 x1 feed expenditure for the x1 old hens and 18 that is feed expenditure for x2 that is young hens, so that expenditure becomes 10 x1 plus 18 x2, that is third equation. Now substituting third and 2 in the profit equation, in the first equation, okay, that you will get the 20x1 plus 32x2, that we can call it as maximization Z equation, that is maximize Z equals to 20x1 plus 32x2. Now go for the to form the other constraints here. If the person has only budget of rupees 2500 to buy hens, and if it is asked to rupees 100 rupees old hens and rupees 200 young hens to buy, then its constraints can be written as 100x1 plus 200x2, that is less than or equals to 2500. If person cannot have more than 20 hens, now old or young, this can be expressed as x1 plus x2 less than or 20. Okay, now they are put in the final form. Similarly, for the next problem here, a farmer wants to plant coconut trees and mango trees in a land of 4400 square meters area. Each coconut trees require at least 15 square meters, while the mango tree requires at least 30 square meters of area per tree. The annual water requirement of coconut tree is 30 units, while for the mango tree it is 20 units per tree. Maximum of 3,300 units of water is available annually. It is also estimated that the ratio of number of mango trees to the number of coconut trees should not be less than that 6/19 and not more than 17/8. If the return per coconut tree is expected to be 1.5 times that of the mango tree, what should be the number of trees of each type to be planted so that expected returns are maximum? Again, this problem comes under maximization profit, so that x1 be the number of coconut tree, x2 is the number of mango trees. Okay, that he has given 1.5. okay, so that we can write the maximized equation 1.5 rupees, that is z equals to 1.5 x1 plus x2. okay, now write down the other constraints, and that is 15x1 area is covered by x1 coconut tree, and 30x2 is area covered by x2 mango tree, so that we can write the total available of maximum is 4400, so that we can write 15x1 plus 30x2 less than or equals to 4400. Next, similarly write down for another, that is 30x1 plus 20x2 less than or equals to 3300. okay, now other constraints are also the space here, the other constraints here, the two constraints that is divided by into two, that is one is space constraints and second one is water constraints. Now another one he has given, that is 6/19. okay, that is x2 by x1 greater than or equals to 6/19, and x2 by x1 that is less than or equals to 17/8, where x1 and x2 are greater than or equals to 0, non-negativity constraints. Now seventh problem, that is a home decorator manufactures two types of lamps, A and B. Both lamps go through the two technicians, first cutter, second finisher. A lamp requires 2 hours of cutter's time and 1 hour of finisher's time. Lamp B requires 1.5 hours of cutter's time and 1 hour for the finisher's time. The cutter has 104 hours to finish the 76 hours of available time. Each month profit on one lamp of type A is rupees 16 and B rupees is 11. Assume that he can sell what he produces. Formulate the above problem. Let x1 be the number of lamps type A, x2 is the number of lamps type B. Next, maximize, because the problems comes under profit. Type A is rupees 16 and type B is 11, so that we can write maximize equation z equals to 16x1 plus 11x2, and go for the other constraints. okay, one is, that is cutter's time constraints, that we can write 2x1 plus 1.5x2 less than or equals to 104. Finisher's time constraint, x1 plus x2 less than or equals to 76. okay, where x1 and x2 are greater than or equals to 0, other non-negativity constraints. Now we discuss the how to formulate the given LPP problem. After formulation, we need to find out the decisions variable. okay, x1, x2. okay, those are all, we can call it as unknown variables. How we are going to find out the unknown variables? Here, by using these 4 methods. The first one is graphical solution method, second is simplex method, third one is big M technique, fourth one is dual simplex method. Here in the first module, that we are going to discuss only graphical method, how we are going to find out the decisions variables or unknown variables by using the graphical method, that we are going to discuss. And last 3 methods, simplex, big M and dual simplex method, that we are going to discuss in second module. okay, now these are the steps you need to follow the for the graphical method. okay, LPP problem by using graphical method, you need to follow these steps. The first step, what it says, that convert each inequality constraints into equation. okay, you need to convert inequality into equation. How we are going to convert? Just to replace less than or greater than sign by equal sign. Okay, that is for step 1. Step 2, every equation can be represented as straight line on the graph sheet. On a centimeter graph sheet, represent x1 along x direction and x2 along y directions taking suitable scale. Then consider the first inequality. Now convert it into equation and represent straight line on the graph. The procedure for this would be explained in the first solved problem. Okay, here in the second step what it says, here the graphical method is applicable for only two variables, x1 and x2. Here that is x1, when we are going plotting the graph, we can take x1 along x the axis and x2 along y axis. Next, third step, the straight line drawn on the graph divides the space into two parts. While all the coordinate values x1 and x2 on the straight line would satisfy the equation, the space one side of the line generally towards the origin satisfy inequality sign if has less than or equal sign. If the constraint having the sign like less than or equal sign, then that constraint says that the feasible solution space region is towards the origin. Suppose if the sign is having greater than or equal sign, then that constraint says that the feasible solution space is away from the origin. Okay. Now the step 4, carry out the steps 2 and 3 all other inequalities if the space which satisfies second constraint shares some common solution space with constraint 1 and space satisfies both the constraints and 1 and 2. When all the inequalities are drawn, common region which satisfy all the constraints is known as feasible region solution space. Okay, whatever it may be the sign, less than or greater than, according to that one, the whatever the region we have chosen to satisfy all the constraints, that region we can call it as feasible solution space. Okay, now we need to find out the x1 x2 values. Here how we are going to find out x1 and x2 values? Here we are having two methods are there. The first method is z equation line method and second one is that is best of all corners method. Okay, these two methods that I am going to explain while discussing the problem. Okay, first method is z equation line method and second method is best of all corners method. Up to step 4 up to step 4 the procedure remains same. After fifth step we can choose z equation line method or we can choose best of all corners method in order to find out the that is decisions variables or unknown variables. Okay, these are the fun examples. That is the first constraints. Okay, here 1.1a figure, what it says that the constraints says that it is towards the origin, so that the shaded part that you can call it as feasible solution space. That is for first constraints only, we are having one constraints. 1.1b, there are two constraints are there. Okay, if you need to choose then a space to satisfy two constraints. Okay, they have chosen like this 1.1b. okay, the space is towards the origin, that shaded part you can call it as feasible solution space. Now 1.1c for three constraints. Okay, and 1.1d. okay, here also that is three constraints. Okay, that is z equation line. Okay.